by the amazing Allison O'Toole, Dan Price, Andre Owen, Fred Kennedy, Chip Zdarsky. Chip, thanks for coming.
What's up, folks? I'm your host, Konrad, on Wednesday Night Reviews, once again joined by the amazing Becka Kinzie. Becka, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me back on your show.
Absolutely. So we have now had a number of shows together. Originally, the first time I had you on was for your book, Gehenna. Next, we actually had you on for a bit of a sketch duel. It was quite a fun time. And then, well, and now, we're here for the graphic novel of the Wormhole Club Tragedy. So just to start with, you may have been on the show before. I know who you are. I know your name. I know your face. But for those out there who do not, please let us know, who is Becka Kinzie?
So, hey, I'm Becka. I am a Joe Shuster Award-winning creator of Gehenna Death Valley. And I'm an independent comic book artist from KW, Ontario. And my latest book, The Wormhole Club Tragedy, is live on Kickstarter. So, and yeah, just went live today, 4:20 in the afternoon of 4:20.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Very nice. And you are already off to quite a start. 21 backers.
Oh, went up since we last.
Yeah, literally since going live in the last 2 minutes, you've got a new backer. So we are at 21 backers, 1,127 of $5,000 with 20 days to go. That's got to feel good.
It feels really good. Like, I was so nervous. Like, I was talking to one of my friends. I was like, oh man, I'm so nervous. I don't know if I can hit the button. He's like, just do it. Rip the Band-Aid off. Just do it. And like, pressed it anyway. And just the anxiety was intense this time. I don't know why.
Really?
And I mean, it is a horror book like Gehenna, but this one's more of a psychological route and, you know, cosmic horror and less monsters, and more monsters is more my comfort zone, right? So yeah, this one took a big risk with it, and it got signed too with Source Point Press. So I'm like, all the things are happening. So basically what that means is that it's basically a distribution deal, so it should have a worldwide distribution once the books are ready, and it should be all over bookstores and comic book shops. Yay.
Yeah. This is a bit technical, but I'm curious. So because you're partnering with Source Point Press on this, are they handling like the shipping for the Kickstarter for you, or is it you're doing that and then on top of that it'll be in bookstores and comic book shops? And
I think I'm doing most of the fulfillment, but we're still talking about that. Like, this is all so new, and they've just gotten back after being away for about a year or two, like post-COVID. Like, there was some restructuring that happened, and there's a new editor-in-chief and that. So I can say is like it's still very, I shouldn't say DIY. There are DIY elements to it with partnering with them. Like, they are letting me keep the rights, which is awesome. Really happy with it. So it's I have full creative control still. It's just I needed help with distributing books, because by myself I've only gotten my books as far as like Philadelphia, and it's, you know, it's not really far enough by yourself, you know, being a woman and, you know, all that. So just, you know, a little extra help goes a long way, and I'm like, sure, why not? Let's give it a go. Yeah.
Right. I have a bunch of questions about that actually. But before we get any further, for those out there who've maybe never heard of this book before, who are just maybe considering jumping in, who are curious, what is the Wormhole Club Tragedy about?
Okay, so I wrote notes because it's a bit of a... I try to keep the elevator pitch, and I'm like, man, there's a lot of layers in this. Yeah, so basically... Dr. Mateo Meyer's patient, Todd, insists that the rumors on the internet are true, that the young woman who died at the Wormhole Club fire was murdered via spontaneous human combustion. Todd also swears that her murderer, named Vorticia Vortex, has been stalking him ever since, except Vorticia Vortex only exists on the internet. So like a creepypasta, right?
Ooh, I love it. Okay.
Yeah. And there's that. Whoop. Okay. It's been a long day.
No, hey, no worries.
Just wrecking on before the Kickstarter. So yeah.
Amazing. Now, as mentioned a little bit earlier, so your forte and what I've come to know you for, which is Gehenna, is a monster-based book about basically a bunch of teens who get themselves into a facility or I guess facility. It starts as a cave. It's a whole thing. It's a wide, crazy adventure. That they find some stuff they ought not have found in the physical world, of course. This, like you said, you've gone sort of the internet way. There's a lot more cosmic horror in this because this goes far further than just the net. And as we can see, this I love.
Thank you.
There's in the third book, you've got a double spread. I believe it's actually on the Kickstarter campaign. Viewers and Becca, don't look at the screen too much right now because I'm going to zoom through this because I know what it looks like, and it might make you a little dizzy. Because I think there. Okay, I can't zoom on it too much, but this amazes me for so many reasons. I don't want to give away too much because, again, this graphic novel that you've made is collecting 5 issues, correct?
Yes, 5 issues plus 20 new extra pages that have never been printed or seen by anyone except for my editor. So, yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The visuals from the page, without giving away story elements, because folks should get the book and enjoy it. But the visual, can you explain this? Because I feel like this grabs. Like it's just.
Thank you. So for classic art, I've always been a fan of Salvador Dali, and there's one painting that he has that has the figure in that pose, but it's on a cross. And I've always loved that painting, right? So I just wanted, because there's parallels with religion in the story, as you know, as you've read the issues, I just wanted to mirror that or like pay homage to it. And so, you know, and this kind of imagery came into my head with the body horror and just, you know, yeah, that's all I can say about that. And I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. I'll try it. So
right on.
And that one, I thought there'd be a lot of 4-letter words during the process of this one, but it was actually not terrible. I was like, okay, this is quite peaceful. Like I've got Tool playing in the background. I'm like, oh, this is peaceful. It fits, it vibes. Okay. And then there's other pages that I'm sure you've seen in the, you know, how far you've read into it, that there was a lot of 4-letter words going into it. So I'm like, what have I done? This is, you know, too hard. You know?
Well, that's really interesting. So one of the things that originally about your art style in the page above, you can see it. One, you do faces extremely expressively. And I really enjoy that because you have this blend of sort of cartoony looking and yet not too cartoony, if that makes sense. Like it's a good mark between comics and cartoons. So it's approachable, very recognizable, but then also you have your unique style and the level of detail you put in features. And then you started doing this stuff where you're getting muscle, bone, tissue, ligaments, which is just a whole step up in detail. Where I figured, that must have been a lot of expletives, a lot of frustrations, but apparently not.
It gets worse, like better, worse. The scale.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So I guess what made you, when it comes to this book compared to Gehenna, going from literal, you know, easy to understand monsters to the more cosmic horror, the creepypasta stuff on the net, what made you want to allow yourself the vagueness or like the abstractness of it all?
I guess like when I started creating the Wormhole Club Tragedy, it was originally supposed to be a simple idea, and then COVID happened. So during COVID, I really got interested in astrophotography and space stuff and the whole like what's out there in the cosmos kind of thing, like anything but Earth, right? So
fair.
I guess it went in that direction, and then I've always, again, the kind of horror movies I love to watch are really out there movies that I love, sci-fi, horror, and stuff like indie films like The Void, for example. So I try to describe to people if I'm at a horror convention, it's like if like the Void and Scanners got together and birthed this monstrosity.
Ooh.
Like, yeah. So it's kind of that vein of the vibe I was going for, and just making just something of my own creation. So yeah.
On.
Yeah.
And really quickly, one of our lovely commenters, Actual Dracula, says, good evening. Another YouTuber.
Hey, what's up, Actual Dracula?
Wonderful.
Yay.
Absolutely, folks. If you're watching, feel free to drop comments down below. Drop questions as well, and we will get them answered. I'm just going to write that in the chat. Over on Instagram, we've had Nicholas, the astronaut, Kevin Mankelo, and JSK pop in.
Hey, what's up, dudes?
Wonderful people.
Also, shout out to JSK, who's kindly donated. Well, I shouldn't say donated. He drew a pin up for the campaign, so you can get it for a limited time only in the 48-hour early bird print bundle, which lasts until April 22nd at 4:20. So,
nice.
It also includes a pinup from James Edward Clark, best known for currently the big hit, The Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre, which issue 3 comes out this Wednesday. And check out Jonathan.
Wow.
Yes, I know, right? And issues 1 and 2 are sold out. So happy for those guys. Yeah. And Jonathan Kochuba, check out Cortez Comics. It's always like pumping out pages. He's a machine, that guy. So
yeah.
And of course I threw in Kickstarter exclusive pinup in there. So, but yeah, you can get 3 pinups for 48 hours until April 22nd, 4:20 p.m. And then after that, it's $50 Canadian. So
awesome. Well, folks, get in there now.
Yes. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting. That's my bad.
No, I love it. Tell us all the things. Let us know what's going on. That is the whole point.
Yeah, okay.
I guess, can you tell me about a story element that you found most fun to write for the tragedy?
I like the space stuff. That was fun, especially researching planets. And originally in the story, well, yeah, I'll talk about it because you see it in the images. So the character originally, I wrote her as being obsessed with Jupiter, and then I started painting. So all the pages, I should say, are drawn on Procreate.
Okay.
So the planet Saturn, I used the airbrush tool and hand painted all the swirlies and stuff. And that one was the made with love, but lots of 4-letter words. Something that looks so simple. Yeah. So anyway, originally it was Jupiter, and then Jupiter got too complicated, and I was like, screw that. It's going to be Saturn now because it'll be easier than Jupiter.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was like interested in, I still am interested in the Juno space probe. And I'm sorry, that's my dog. If you hear her, she's scratching at the door. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so researching planets and stuff and what the planets would be like on the inside, that was some interesting late night rabbit holes and stuff. And, many ways space can kill you kind of thing. So, and what space could do with the human body theoretically. And the things I think about at night and what my Google search must be like. So, yeah.
I mean, it is a fascinating thought. And I guess it lends credence to like local events, the Artemis 2, right? That just went to the dark side of the moon and came back, which is super cool.
Very cool. Yeah.
But yeah, like space wants us dead. We are not meant to be out there.
Above and below are not meant to be either.
Right where we're at, we're safe. Everything else, death.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the art, then I am curious. Because you do a lot of just the human body, but also space in this one. What was so challenging about drawing the different planets? As again, my own perspective for context here, I don't draw, right? I don't do paint. I've seen people draw. I've seen people do Photoshop. My show with Keith, I've seen what he does. But as you said, like this even looks like a very simple, easy to draw thing.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It was the painting that became the big pain in the butt. Like it's you can't see it like far away, but up close, like Saturn, all the pictures ahead of it, there's like all these swirling clouds and some cyclones in that. And then I don't have it featured in the campaign, but there's at the beginning of the next issue, or is it issue? No, it's issue 3, where anyway, I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but like I have the North Pole at Saturn, and there's just it's this hexagon of cyclones and stuff, and that was all hand painted on Procreate with the airbrush tool, and just trying to make it like look subtle and everything, because the clouds are not as distinctive as Jupiter, which is why I abandoned Jupiter, because it was like no because like I've got other stuff to do today. This is taking too long for a comic book.
Interesting.
Yeah, like you see why, people, have Jupiter in a book. It's usually the big red spot, because that's the most distinctive, easiest feature, recognizable feature on there. But it's got all the layers of clouds and different tones and colors in that. It was like no. So yeah, even though Saturn was a lot simpler, it was like especially the scene with the Saturn's North Pole, that was the hardest one, especially like the little tiny fiddly details with the cyclones and all that stuff. And but then the end result, the payoff was worth it. And things like the rings of Saturn, like I would use tools like in Procreate, there's one of the brushes, it's a hair tool, so it made the best rings look
interesting.
Painting so that was more fun than painting the planet itself.
Which to me, again, not someone who dabbles a lot in art itself, I would think the rings would be the hardest thing, because you've got to try and show like an extremely what appears to be two-dimensional object on a right plane. But fascinating.
No, surprisingly the rings were not a pain in the butt for me, but it was just painting the planet itself was the worst part, like best and worst part.
So I have a question related to the scene you talked about regarding the North Pole of the planet that is not shown on here, regarding how you did some of the art.
Yeah, actually it's in the video. I just remembered there is one shot in the video where there's two characters descending down in the North Pole in the main cyclone part. That was hand painted as well, like different layers of clouds. So that one, obviously we don't have a photo of what that looks like for Saturn, right? Because no.
Oh
yeah.
I would say, can I bring up the page?
Yep. Yeah, totally.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I actually looked at pictures of hurricanes on Earth to get what the layers would look like in the eye of the hurricane, because that's what it basically would be like, right? At least I'm assuming. So that I just used that as my artistic interpretation of what it would look like in the center of that cyclonic storm.
Fascinating.
Yeah, that part was fun. The research part of it, and just seeing like, wow, nature is terrifying also.
Yes.
So that, yes.
Also, I'm loving, I forget the name of the gentleman who did it first, but the drop in which someone grabs someone else and just very nice. Intended anime reference or not, it's appreciated. Yeah, so one question, because I know, like myself, you're also quite nerdy. I'm always curious about is when we have a scene like that where you've an object or something moving through an atmosphere. You often see it a lot in anime when usually it's a beam type weapon or an energy weapon shoots through clouds and they just sort of like you said, you sort of looked at hurricanes and such to determine what that might look like. Was there a particular type of hurricane or any other reference that you were going with?
I wasn't thinking of a specific one, but some of the searches that came up were from Category 4 storms. But also a lot of them came from like the airplanes that would go and record the wind speeds. Like I always loved looking that stuff up. So anything that I was going for a visual aesthetic though, as opposed to scientifically accurate. Although I try to be as scientifically accurate as I could, even if that makes sense. If that makes sense. But the arts, it's hard to balance that when you want to go for something that looks cool, right? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Because you want it to fit the way you want it to look. It needs to look interesting.
Yeah.
So you don't want to give way to that for science, but at the same time, you want it to look right.
Yeah.
Even though it might not be something I see like myself has seen before, but it has to make sense within its context. Actual Dracula wants us to know the rings look great. Love the shadow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And flipping back to the campaign. Then you know what? We're at about it's 7:30-ish or say about half-ish way through. So for the folks out there who want to get the book, I'm going to flip over to rewards here and I'll bring it up on screen. Can you walk us through the different tier levels for it?
Yeah, sure. So I'm starting with the digital edition. So it's 15 CAD on roughly about $11 American. So again, all the tiers, it's the collection of issues 1 through 5 plus 20 new pages of unseen content. So that's the cheapest tier that you can get. Or if you want to just donate without pledging anything, the whatever it is above that works too. Because I know like it was difficult trying to plan this campaign and thinking about the economy, right? So that was one of my anxieties of the week. It's like, oh man, is it the timing of everything? So I was trying to come up with tiers, even expensive ones, and trying to make it economically make sense, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll talk more about that later as we get further down. And so for the next one, but just because I can do it because I live, the printer I use, literally we're in the same city. So I save money on shipping and it's an affordable thing I can do.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So for the first 48 hours, this is the deal, the early bird 48-hour eclipse, where you get the book, PDF, and the 3 pinups for 24 Canadian, or I'm trying to read the small print there, about $18 USD.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18. Yeah. Yeah, so that one's going until April 22nd at 4:20, and it also includes add-ons. I'll get to that later as well as we get through that. So the add-ons basically include the comic books, issues 1 through 5, individual pin-up prints if you want, like, extras or something. I threw in like another Vorticia print, 8.5 by 11, and there's also a Vorticia Vortex figurine designed by Amanda Daly, who's amazing, her sculpting work. So we don't have it printed yet, but the basic design is there. And there's also some commission add-ons as well for color and black and white. So, and then the other tiers, if you just want the book, you can get that, the book and PDF. So once the early bird goes away, it's 28 Canadian, about $20 American. Yeah. Oh, and I want to say like estimated delivery time. So October would be like the latest. I hope it comes earlier, like around Fan Expo timeframe. Like,
that'd be cool.
Publisher about this, right? So again, I'll keep people updated, like I did with the last campaign, about production and when it arrives and all that stuff. So we got you. And then after that, there's just the book local pickup as well for people in the Kitchener area, but also I guess the GTA area as well. If you can make it down to Studio Comics Press, they'll be the shop that will carry it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I'll see if maybe I can get it in a couple of Toronto shops too. We'll see. We'll get working on that. But yeah, you could just pick up the book at a shop. You don't have to worry about shipping charges. Yeah. So something for local peeps.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Local.
And
Okay,
then,
perfect. Yep.
Oh, and there is a special secret reward, which I will share the link to my socials when the timing is right. That's around the $60 mark. That's a commission one, but yes, there. That is the thing with Kickstarter now. You can have a secret pledge for backers that you share a special link.
For the folks out there, where's the best place to follow you?
Anywhere, like just anywhere online.
Perfect. Yeah. Where do you know where you're most active? Or do you sort of
evenly dispersed? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So the next one after the early bird ends, then the book and our print bundle will be $50 Canadian. So it's same deal, but just extra. And then down, I can't believe the ones below are starting to go. Okay, there's the retail deal for $80, the retail 5-pack.
Yeah, and 3 have gone. Awesome.
Yeah, and then the next one's the comic book art collector. I am shocked that 2 of them are gone already. But basically, you get the book, PDF, and an original comic book cover of the Wormhole Club Tragedy.
Right on.
Basically, issues 1, issue 3, 4, and 5, and why not issue 2? Well, originally issue 2 only had a digital cover, but for Calgary Expo, which I'll be at this weekend along with Keith Gratchow, I did make a Calgary edition of issue 2 with a new-ish cover, and I say newish because it's the same, similar design, but it's hand-drawn.
Cool.
The only place you can get that cover is in the most expensive tier, which is the $700 Psychic Punk. The Ultimate Psychic Punk Horror Pack.
Yes,
that's the only place. So that one includes the book, PDF, issues 1 through 5, printed page from the comic book.
Wow.
The issue 2 Calgary Expo cover, original, art prints, and painted canvas by me. 16 by 20 painting.
Awesome. Now that is all in. I love it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
One thing I will say is this is super cool. Well, obviously for you, you're super excited, and you should be. But what I find super cool about this is I remember when we had you on for, I believe it was like a Halloween draw off where we had, it was yourself, Mike Ruth, and I think Kevin Manklow. But I remember watching you start to draw the cover character from this, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is Vorticia. I remember seeing it and I was like, oh, that looks really cool. And you're like, yeah, I'm just sort of going through this and trying something out, maybe do a cover here. So one thing I am curious about for your art.
Yeah.
A lot of this you do digitally. Is that correct?
Yes. It was something different that I tried for Wormhole Club because I had just gotten an iPad Pro. I was starting to test out Procreate. And I'm like, before I wouldn't call myself a digital artist. I could color digitally, but not. It just felt too mechanical on Photoshop, for example. But with Procreate, it's the most human program I've ever used. So I've been using it ever since I got my original iPad Pro, and pretty much the comic, except for 4 of the covers, well, not 5 covers, been drawn digitally. So it's been nice. And the process has been a bit faster. That way I don't have to scan any pages or anything, but that doesn't mean I will abandon traditional forever or anything like that. Just wanted to try something to expand my skills. I like to try different art mediums,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So one of the things I was wondering is the way that you get across color. Let's see the most. So one, for the folks out there, if you have not already, link in the bio, go to the Kickstarter page or just Google Kickstarter Wormhole Club Tragedy. Early bird right now, 24 Canadian, 18 US. You get the book, beautiful prints, digital and physical copies. Get in there, go. When it comes to your art style, though, I mean, I suppose that's a very good example of it. But what I have found is when I've physically watched you draw and I've seen the way you use ink, it's like uncanny how similar they are. Because often I find when someone switches from digital to physical or physical to digital, because the inherent act of, you're no longer holding, not that this is the pen you would draw with, but a pen and hitting paper. Instead, you're hitting probably a stylus and some sort of surface or a iPad. There's something inherently different about it that changes just a little bit the art style. But I find with you, it doesn't seem to impact the way things end up looking, which I like. Like, I think it's super, but it's an anomaly. I find it very, like, strange. But you just said, you find that the iPad Pro is, like, in Procreate, is the most human software you've used. When you've used other softwares, I guess the question is, what about it feels so human to you? And what was about it that you liked, that you just felt sort of gravitated toward?
So I don't know if it's part of it is just drawing on like Photoshop and stuff. Like, you've got a separate like Wacom tablet and whatever. I just never like the feel of them. It's just, it doesn't feel like the same as drawing on paper, where on this, I feel like I'm drawing on paper, and the pencil, even it feels like a pencil or a pen I would use. Right on. And all the line work, it's like how I would draw with a pencil. And then I guess the biggest benefit from going digital so far is I've gotten less afraid of making mistakes along the way. And I'm noticing it too when I draw in real life and make commissions. It's that fear of getting it look just right or being a perfectionist has pretty much almost gone away.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah, which I didn't expect to happen. And now it's, so it's been a real confidence booster for sure. But yeah, I don't know how else, even like trying out tools, because like buying art supplies can be expensive after a while. So yeah, the iPad Pro and that, it's expensive. But the other thing I like about Procreate is that it's a one-time purchase. There's no subscription, which is lovely.
Good to know.
Yeah. And then I can experiment things like with the airbrushing tool and stuff that I would like to try in real life, but it costs money, So it's like I can buy all this stuff one time. Even like the iPad Pros, it's an expense in itself, of course, Apple. But Yep. But at the same time, I can experiment with all these different brushes and paints and that, and get it to look, just to see what it's like if I was airbrushing, or if I had a certain kind of inked pen or inking pen or whatever. It's nice. And it's, there's less, like there is a lasso tool and stuff, but it's your own line work, right? It's not
so it's not like, like where you draw a curve, and if you hold it, it'll correct it or make it perfect.
It can do that. Yeah, it can do that. But like, or you can just go freehand also. Which, like, you could do it with Photoshop, but I just didn't like how it felt. I don't know how else to explain it, but it seems like I have better control with it freehand than I would with with Photoshop for some reason. I don't know why.
Cool.
There's something they got it right with Procreate and the iPad pencil setup. Like, yeah.
Interesting. Like it's one thing, because like Keith does a lot of work in Photoshop, so like, that's what I'm used to seeing and how he works, and I've seen all the stuff he does, and I've heard him, on his tablet, where you could off screen, you can kind of click, hear him mousing around or hitting the buttons. And like my partner, I've seen her draw on Procreate on her iPad, and it seems extremely intuitive.
It's intuitive, yes.
Yeah. Actually, a comment from our wonderful friend Actual Dracula. I'm penciling my comic in Procreate. with a pencil brush, and when you print it out, you wouldn't know the difference. It looks like a pencil.
Yep.
Sick. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I want the printers you guys have. Damn.
Studio Comic. Yeah. Oh, the printer. Like, okay. Yeah. I wonder if it's an Epson. I'm guessing.
Maybe.
Epson. That's one brand some artists I know will use, but anyway, I don't know. I always wanted to know what people use, like for printers and stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Again, all the very technical stuff that most people who read and enjoy comics just don't think about. So when when you're making the book and you're going through, I can't not ask about the body horror and the crazy stuff. Do you find yourself enjoying the actual like body horror, like where you're showing appendages, blood, bones, sinew more, or do you prefer when you're drawing the sort of the semi-abstract astronomical things?
It's hard to say because sometimes it'll start with the body horror. I think of something totally awful and I'm like, that's disgusting. Maybe I should draw that and then gross myself out. But then I just get, then it's fine. And then I get obsessive with details like, oh, it's not gross enough. Maybe I'll just do, whatever. I guess it's easier to do something artistically than like somebody, I don't know, the stuff that gets me weirdly enough is if somebody's taking off a hangnail or anything with nails. I'm just like, no, thank you. Or boogers and snot, that which is like not blood related, but that stuff grosses me out more, which is weird. It should be other way around. But yeah.
It is fascinating. Have you, because of this, you've already mentioned you've done research on planets and such. What is something that you learned, or say your top 3 things that you learned as a result of working on the issues of this and doing all the art that you otherwise would not have come across?
Sorry, say that again. Like what?
So what are like the top 3 things that you've learned that you would not have come across if not for making this graphic novel? When it comes to maybe the body, space, weather, anything really.
Yeah. So some cool things are like, and I like that they did it with like Alien Romulus with the rings, that some of the rocks in that are as big as buildings and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, and the rings of Saturn. So like in Alien Romulus, and they're at, the planet, there's the rings and there's some huge rocks and stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, I was nerding out over that scene. So that was cool, like learning or relearning that. There's some facts I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And others like, oh, I didn't know that at all. Interesting. What else? And I guess kind of rediscovering Saturn's North Pole and just seeing, but I didn't realize how many cyclones were in the north and how actually heavily detailed Saturn was. And also the theoretical things that space can do to the human body, and some stuff that you'd see in films that would be depicted that would not happen. Like
the freezing?
Yeah, like the freezing and the blood would boil and stuff. And I'm like, really? All this stuff I didn't know. And then stuff like randomly what fire actually looks like in space, which like an explosion, it comes out like like a bunch of orange fiery dots or bubbles that expands.
That's wild.
Yeah. Just look up pictures of that. Yeah.
Okay. Fire in space.
Yep. Excuse me.
Okay, I can't just not show this because this is freaky.
Yeah.
This is about right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
you know why it does that?
I read it and I totally forget why. So that's the way my brain works. Unfortunately, I'm just like, oh, cool. And then wait, I forgot how that works again. Something to do with lack of oxygen or something, I'm guessing. But
weird.
Don't quote me. Yeah.
Huh. Well, damn, that's cool. All right, so in the rings, rocks as big as buildings. Fire in space comes out as orbs, and then the poles of the other planets, which I oddly never thought about. When you say they're detailed, is it just like the amount of clouds and cyclones and such?
Yeah, and also the ripples effects in that. Oh yeah, and then Saturn sometimes gets like random storms. So like look up pictures of that, because then you'll see like Saturn will look kind of normal, and then there's like a streak of white that goes through the planet, and it happens like not all the time, but occasionally happens. Yeah,
like so.
Like that. Yeah.
That's freaky.
Yeah. It is.
All right.
Space is terrifying.
See, I think this is the coolest part about doing these interviews for me is knowing what people rabbit hole with and what they're interested in. And just getting to share in that, because I probably never figured this out. But now I learned some really cool stuff.
Yeah. Happy to share the knowledge. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. We are closing in on 8 p.m. So I guess when it comes to now that you've got a graphic, you've gotten another backer.
What is life?
Okay, let me refresh this real quick. Just
okay.
Yeah, beautiful.
If you knew the state I was in earlier today, like the anxiety was unreal. So this is
cruising. I'm loving it. Congratulations so far, Becka.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I guess what has been, other than this right now, with that moment, for you making the graphic novel from the original 5 issues to now the collection, and then SourcePoint Press, what has been, or has there been a singular moment, or has it just been a chain of events of sort of the most enjoyable things? Like, has there anything that stuck out about that?
I mean, it's been fun and enjoyable, but also a lot of stuff has happened that I didn't expect to happen. Like, I was expecting with this book, I'm like, oh, I'll just, go the same route as the, the previous book, like get it ready that way. And then SourcePoint was like, hey, we're interested in your book. And I'm like, what, for real? So that was, that was a nice surprise. Especially after like I was shopping the book for a while and I kind of lost hope. Like the market is difficult right now, right? But totally get it. And I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm going DIY with this, completely, right? And forget about a wider distribution, So that's where it was before all that,
And then happened. They reached out.
Yeah. And then it's like, it seems like all the things are happening. And I'm just like, what, this and Calgary coming up? I'm like, yeah, it's been, things are moving forward. So
that's
forward. Yeah. Yeah.
That is absolutely fantastic. Then you know what, with the last 5 minutes, I guess what for the folks going to Calgary, is it Fan Expo?
Yeah, it is owned by the same people who do Fan Expo.
Yeah. So I'll say Calgary Expo.
Yeah.
Where can people find you there, if you yet know? And what can they pick up from you of your previous works, I'll say?
Okay, so Calgary, I will cautiously say that I'll be at table P099. So I should be next to Casey Parsons, also a great artist. Yeah.
Right on.
And Sam Noir. So I didn't have issue 5 last time, so you can go pick up issue 5. And if you missed Gehenna Death Valley, I've got more of those. Come pick it up. I will have commissions. I will also share the secret link over there. Special secret tier. They're $60 Canadian, and which is basically a book, PDF, and commission.
Oh, amazing!
Of the secret thing. So, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Then my last 2 questions for you, Becka, as always. close that down. There we go. Just me and you.
Right.
I guess to start with, as of late, what is it that you have been reading and enjoying that you think other people should check out?
I'm glad you asked me that. So
you have it.
Yes, I have it. I love it when that happens. So here we go. PTSD Radio. So I just need to collect one more volume. So it's a horror manga by Masaki Nakayama. I hope I said it correctly. Apologies if I haven't. So if you're into curses and ghosts, and there is some body horror in it, and lots of hair. Hair is terrifying in this. Check it out. I highly recommend it, and you can just pick it up at Indigo or wherever people sell books. But yeah, highly recommend it. And like I said, it's only 3 volumes, so I just have volumes 1 and 2. I need to pick up volume 3 ASAP. It's been a latest obsession of mine. So yeah,
fabulous.
Yeah.
I did want to quickly, because he did comment regarding the printer. Actual says Epson Workforce could scan and print.
I knew it was an Epson. All right, thank you.
You called it. And then he mentions degloving. I know what that is. If you don't know what that is, don't Google it. Or I mean, free will, do what you want. But
that was Gehenna. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then I guess Becka, my last question for you. Brain just absolutely blanked on that one. What have you read lately? Oh yeah, simple, easy, kind of important. Where can people follow you? What are your @, your hashtags, your websites? What are the best 2 to follow?
Basically, I would just say check out my website, thebecka.com. All my socials are there. I'm at _Becka or at @the.Becka, just to keep it simple.
Love it. Plain, simple, easy. Well, Becka Kinzie, absolutely. Thank you so much once again for taking the time to come on the show.
Thank you.
Hell yeah, anytime, every time. And for you at home, on the YouTube, on Instagram Live, or if you're watching this sometime in the future, she just said it there. Go to her website, go follow her socials, find her books, get them. But most importantly, right now, before it'll be April 22nd, by the time it is, April 22nd at 4:20. Love it. Go get yourself the early bird. And if you happen to catch this afterward, you have until May, what would that be? May 12th?
11th.
May 11th.
Close.
Back, yes, thank you. To back the Wormhole Club Tragedy on Kickstarter. Go get it now. And Becka, thank you. And we will see y'all next time.